Beautiful March day. Time for a beer. Okay, dear. So, I want to talk to you about something that I talk to all my family and friends about. And I have arguments with kind of friend John. We have arguments, but for some reason I've never talked to you guys about it. I want to talk to you about probably the best, in my opinion, electric car that is out there. The Hyundai Ioniq Electric. Welcome to Tag! Technology, automotive, and gaming! Get ready. I can do it. I can do it. Tag, you're it. Okay, first. Let's talk about something that's really important to me. The boot size. I like a big boot because, well, you need to put things places, especially if you're camping. I love camping. I like a big boot because I got to put things places. So this Hyundai Ioniq Electric has a 23 cubic foot boot, which is like 651 cubic liters if you're from up near Canada or somewhere else, you know, Britain. Anywhere does liters, anywhere is not America, basically. And that's a big boot. I like a big boot. It's for lots and lots of space for stuff. Compared to like the Prius Prime, which sacrifices its boot space when it turns into a more electric type vehicle instead of gasoline. 19.8 cubic foot or 560 liters of space. That's not nearly as much as that big Hyundai Electric. It's just, well, you know, it's a better vehicle in that sense. And when you look at the weight for it as well, they're both around 3,300 pounds. The Hyundai Electric is a little bit more, about 60 pounds more than the Prius Prime, but you are only charging. So, you know, you don't have to worry about gas and such. Especially if you charge it at home, you're going to save yourself a lot of money. Now, charging out in the outside world, probably not so much. If you look at the size, they're both about the same, give or two an inch or so. The Hyundai Ioniq's 179 inches, where the Prius Prime is 182 inches. So you're looking at a few inches or like 7.5 centimeters difference in length. And that's not so bad. It's not a very big vehicle. It's a nice sized vehicle. It both fit 5 people and they'll both go. And the battery for this is actually the most efficient electric car on the road, and that's one of the reasons I love it. It's just so efficient. It only has a 38.3 kilowatt lithium-ion battery, which is good enough to get you about 170 miles or 274 kilometers of range. And unlike other electric vehicles, they're not lying. That's the truth. That's the actual range of this vehicle. All the research I've done, and I've talked to people by going on different auto blogs and communicating with them, they actually get this range. Actually, you don't even have to be like super granny with it and you're gonna get that range. One person I talked to vlog said he's been driving his since he got it from 2020 every day to work, and he does about 60 miles a day. And he says even in the wintertime, he still gets 3.8 kilowatts per mile. So that's not bad. Its average is 4.438 miles per kilowatt. Or if you're doing that kilometers, it's 7 point something kilometers per kilowatt. And if you do it the dumb way, which I don't like doing, 0.225 kilowatts per mile. Again. 0.139 kilometers per kilowatt. Yeah, 2.225 kilowatt per mile and 0.139 kilometers per mile. Yeah, math. That's a dumb way to do it. I like the other way. 4.438 miles per kilowatt. That works better. It's just easier for my brain to handle. That's the most efficient electric car on the road today. That has 4 wheels. Let's make that very clear. 4 wheels. Because there's a lot of electric vehicles out there that don't have 4 wheels that are more efficient. So, you know, gotta make sure you put that stuff in there. Now, another reason I really like this vehicle is not just the boot size. It's actually a pretty decent car. It looks good. It's not super fast, and you're not gonna be looking at anything faster than 9 seconds to 0 to 60, and that's not bad. It's decent. It's looks like fun car to drive. I mean, everyone who drives it say it's got sporty-ish style. It's just as good as a Prius, and the Prius isn't a terrible vehicle to drive. Easy to park because it's small and not too big, yet has plenty of space inside, and the tech is pretty nice. You get optional extras like heated seats, cool seats, electric seats. You know, that's kind of nice if you're moving all around. I think heated seats are important in an electric vehicle because they save you from using the heat pump, which it has, which is super nice as well because it saves some space. It's an efficient way to heat the vehicle. And I think every car should have a heat pump because basically you're looking at instant heat. Get in the car, turn it on, instant heat. I like that. And every car has an air conditioner, so why doesn't every car have a heat pump? Seems to make sense. It'd be cool. Instant heat. for very little money. I don't know, I just don't. You also can get their lane keep assist stuff and their radar guided cruise control on their upscale model. It's nice. I think that the powered seats will add some weight to you, but you know, still pretty cool. Android Auto is standard, as well as Apple CarPlay is standard. It also has a standard wireless charger. Also in the interior, you have a really cool memory system for your powered seats for the optional extra, which is, you know, cool. A lot of cars have it these days, but it's nice if, you know, the wifey takes the car, if the husband takes the car. Do I have that button feature? I personally think the wireless charger is one of the coolest things on there. That's really nice because I like to be able to charge my phone quickly. And if you already have Android Auto and stuff like that, and you're gonna plug in, well, you know, that's what it is. I'm not a huge fan of Android Auto, but it's standard there, so it's a good feature to have. The horsepower and torque, you have 134 horsepower and 218 foot-pounds of torque. That's a lot of torque. That's why it's pretty quick. It's not slow, but it's not, you know, gonna be super fast either. It is a very nice vehicle just to have as a vehicle. Now, charging-wise, everyone's like, well, that stuff charges really slow. Well, you can, if you're on a budget, get a 120-volt plug-in charger system that will make it so you can charge the car overnight. Realistically, you're looking at like 14 hours, but you know, if you get home, you plug it in, charge it, it'll charge overnight. Now, if you want to go phase 2, well, if you have a really nice phase 2 that goes all the way up to max 7.4 kilowatt, which you can, you're looking at a little over 4 hours, so that's kind of nice. Realistically, you're not going to get that much. I'd say it's more like 6. I know some people actually get 4 out of those plug-in things, but for the average is more like 5.5. But still, relatively quick charging. If you want DC fast charging, it will take the standard DC fast charge, not Tesla, and it will charge 80% in about 35 minutes, which gives you a little over 100 miles range, 120 or so miles range, 130 if you're willing to wait. Now, you want to do it fully charged? Well, Hyundai themselves said it take to over an hour. How much over an hour? They don't say. But from the vlogs that I talk to and discuss people, they say it's usually about an hour to 10 hour and 15 minutes for fully charged. Now, why is this if you have 50 kilowatts of power going to this battery? Well, it is a lithium polymer battery. Now, the difference between lithium power and lithium ion battery cells like they have with the 18650s and the 21700s and Teslas is very complicated. But I do have a lot of lithium polymer batteries with my power banks. And I will tell you, they get hot and they get hot fast. And that's the reason they have to downgrade the charging, because of the heat. If you're constantly charging like that, it's going to overheat. And Hyundai wants that shit to last. They learned from Nissan's mistakes. With the old Nissan batteries, you were lucky if that thing went 100,000 miles before you had battery degradation. And another thing they learned from their own mistakes as well, is liquid cooling. They liquid cool their batteries. Why liquid cool the batteries? Well, you know, it just makes more sense. Why would you sit there and cool with air? You still do it in aircraft engines, and it's not very efficient. Cracked cylinders and all, you know. I don't understand that. Liquid cooling is better. It is a more stable way to cool the batteries, as well as the electric motor. You know, they burn out too. But back to that interior and the exterior styling, both of them. I think the interior looks nice. It looks as good as a Prius's interior, which I've always liked. The cubby holes are nice, the space is nice. You have plenty of room up front, plenty of room back. I think it's really nice that their one pedal assist system is on paddles. The paddle assist system just makes sense to me. I hate having to go press buttons to change settings. And when you have paddles, they had paddles on a lot of these other cars, with double clutch, or even the standard transmissions. They want to be able to make so you can think you're shifting. Well, this makes it so it's actually useful. Let's say you're in a traffic jam. You're gonna go full one pedal, because why wouldn't you? You know, you want that one pedal driving, you want that regen braking, and you're just gonna sit there and move back and forth, you know. Makes sense. Let's say you're going down, you know, in town, and you don't quite want to do one pedal driving because you're going 40, 45, then 35, 25, and you're not exactly all, you want to coast a little bit. You're not all for that, oh, I'm gonna stop, I gotta put my foot down a certain amount. You want some coast in there. Well, you just change that down if you want. And it's really quick, and it tells you on the dash, and the dash is very intuitive. It's a very simplistic Hyundai dash, which I like. I do think that the Hyundai system is nice. It's intrusive because it's out there, it's in the way, it doesn't quite look great, but I don't think anyone's quite figured out a great way besides the luxury brands like Mercedes and BMW how to make that all that digital dash nonsense look good. So, you know, it looks a little tacky, as most Japanese and Korean dashes look these days. I just want to add that it does have an electronic parking brake. I hate electronic parking brakes. I think they're silly. I think they sometimes just to break down. There's nothing wrong with the handle. I don't know why they do it. They already got the center console. Why not just put the handle for the parking brake? I don't understand that. Now, why would I compare it to a Prius, someone might ask? Well, here's why. Because they're basically the same car. Now, here's what I'm saying. I think the Hyundai Ioniq, a regular hybrid version, is an awesome car as well. But if you're going into electric car there, I think this is the one for you. Or you also have the Prius Prime or the Hyundai Ioniq plug-in. There. Those words together are just tough for me to say. Now, they're very similar as well. The difference with the Hyundai Ioniq plug-in is you're going to get about 29 miles, and with the Prius Prime, you're going to get about 20 miles with about the same battery size, 8 to 9 kilowatts of battery power. And if you're going to get a plug-in, I would say get the Ioniq. It just has better range, and it looks better, I think, than the Prius personally. It's also got a better coefficient of drag, where the Prius has a 0.25 coefficient, the Ioniq has a 0.24. And boot size, it's a bigger boot than the Prius, so bigger boots are important, in my opinion. I think so. I like a lot of junk in my trunk. I just do. And I'm not going to compare it to other electric cars because, well, the only thing that it can really compare to when it comes to efficiency is the Model 3. Well, the Tesla Model 3 is just way too expensive, and we don't know what the build quality is. I don't know if it's completely worth it. And the Nissan Leaf, which other people say, or the Chevy Bolt, aren't that efficient. They're poorly efficient, and they're not really known for how long the batteries last. And it was all Nissan Leaf. You had ChargeGate, which is a weird thing to have, like Dieselgate, but with charging. Because they have those air-cooled batteries, which I still think is a terrible idea. And with the Bolts, it's just so small, the boot space. Both of them have smaller boot space than the Ioniq, and I think that's not good. Because you want a family car that can hold a lot of stuff. The Ioniq also looks a lot better than both of them, and it's a true car. It's not on a stand-stop thing with a high roof. They just instead lower your butt and everything, put you low to the ground, and it just makes more sense. Another reason I didn't compare it to the other electric cars is they look ugly in comparison. I think if you're going to buy a vehicle, looks are so important to that example. It's like, what, you're going to buy a vehicle just because it's electric? That's silly. I would not compare it to electric cars, so I think it's beyond a lot of electric cars, especially when it comes to looks, Are you going to be able to tow anything with it? No. Realistically not. It says its towing capacity is about 1,000 pounds, but I don't foresee that happening, to be honest, because you don't want to burn out that motor, and if you tried, you'd probably just ruin your range. And with any electric car, you're going to have to deal with the winter time. You're going to lose about 30 to 40% of your efficiency, but it still gives this car over 100 miles of range. It's realistic range, because the fact is, everyone says that they actually get close to that mileage. The average is about 160. That's only 10 miles away from its max. So, and that's only because people are too afraid to max it out. You don't want to end the side of the road. That's why I think it's one of the best. It's not lying about its range. It's great range, and it's kind of fun to drive. I mean, people seem to like it. It's not a sports car, but it's fun, and it's affordable. $33,000 to the base, and you'll get $37,000 for the higher end one with the cool cruise control and all that lane keep assist stuff. So I don't know. I just think that's the right car. I don't know why people aren't talking about it. Why is no one talking about this thing anymore? I don't know. It should be, and I think we got to take care of it. So, my name is Shane. This has been Throughout Thursdays, and keep shifting there. Oh, yeah. Keep shifting. There you go. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, shift. Your horsepower and torque is 135. 100 of them. It's just such a busy road. I can't believe how busy our road is. It's getting so busy. Yep. Oh, wait. Maybe I should have done upstairs. Man, it's 11 o'clock. Do it done. Take a sleep here.